Grace and peace, family. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Lorene. I haven't spoken to you since the last video just before Thanksgiving. And I would tell you, oh my God, since Thanksgiving, your girl have been through some stuff. I tell you, around Thanksgiving time, many of you may not be aware, 2 weeks to the day, I would say, I almost was a goner. There's no other way to say it. Um, I had experienced some things, and I had a dream maybe the week before getting sick, before Thanksgiving, probably just around the time I had did the previous video. I had a dream that um, something would happen to me. And when I woke up from the dream, it startled me a little bit because it was so vivid, it was so real. Maybe 3 or 4 days later, I would say, just as I dreamed, it happened. And I began to really get to the point where I was in dire strait. I'm not one to go to the hospital much, and when things happen, I'm pretty sound. I don't get hysterical or anything like that. But I just knew that the Lord would bring me out because He had showed me in a vision in that dream what was going to go on with me. So about that following Sunday, the Sunday right after Thanksgiving, I was here at home, and the Lord told me to call the doctor. And long story short, the doctor's office told me to go to the nearest emergency room. And by that time, all of my vitals were extremely low. My hemoglobin was below 4. My heart rate was racing, and I was to the point of fainting and passing out and that kind of thing. And when I got to the emergency room, they immediately transported me to another hospital in another county to have immediate blood transfusion. I've never been through anything like that, and certainly I did not want a blood transfusion, but they pretty much told me if I didn't have it, I was going to die. Having said all that, this is not bad news. I think the lesson learned in it, when I go through anything, there's always a lesson in everything. I began to really think about how the Lord had forewarned me. He loves us, and He's concerned about us. And I think everything was happening so fast until all I can remember is that God showed me this. And even though I couldn't do anything about it, because He showed me, He let me know that He had me. And I think that is what kept me stable as I began to see them work on me, and I had to stay in the hospital, and I had to watch this blood that I don't know whose blood it was. I had to accept these units of blood that I didn't want. I didn't want. And but I knew that I had to live, and I would tell you guys, I've never felt so drained and just so out of it. I had no energy to walk, even in my home. And long story short, because I am getting to a point, long story short, before them releasing me from the hospital, and I'm still under care, they asked me if I wanted another unit of blood, and I just decided that I wouldn't take it. I just needed what I need just to survive. And when I thought about that, I said, wow, there is really power in the blood. Things that we take for granted every day, just being able to feed yourself and be able to walk, to be able to breathe, to be able to dress yourself. We have so much to be thankful for. And this is not my first episode with sickness. I mean, when I was 32, I had a stroke, and the Lord brought me through that. And I've had other things happen to me, and the Lord brought me through. But there's a confidence when you know that God is on your side. He said He'll never leave you nor forsake you. He said, lo, I'm with you always, even to the end of the world. And when God says something and to decrease something, we have to take him at his word. And when you know that you know that you know that you know that he's for you, he says, my thoughts towards you are not an evil, but a peace to bring you to an expected end. And as long as you have a promise on your life and God has promised you something and you haven't seen it come to fruition, know that you are not going to leave here until it comes to pass, because he's faithful that promise. I believe that. Now, there's some things, maybe we missed a season on it because there was a stipulation that if we do this, he do that. But I'm talking about that unmerited favor, that thing that God promised you. I think about the things that God has promised me down through the years, even when I was a teenager with a baby, and he promised me what that baby would turn out to be. And I've seen it come to fruition. And my son, I love him dearly. Now, during the time I was struggling with him, I thought it was the worst thing that it could have happened to me. What did I need a baby for? But even in sin, God knows the way that we take. When he has a plan and a purpose for your life, even when you get derailed and you do stupid things and make foolish decisions, ultimately, because God has a purpose and a plan for your life, you're going to meet that goal. You're going to come to that destination, and come hell or high water and whatever you've done, God will remove everything to make sure that you are in his will and you are designed and you meet that purpose that he has created you to be. So being a teenage mother didn't stop me from being who I am today. The many choices that I've made in my life that sometimes I look back and I regret them. But in the end, it still made me who I am today. So ultimately, even though I might have regretted them, but when I really look back, it is in the fiber of my being. When you look at a piece of material that the manufacturer put together in our clothes, you may find a little imperfection in it. But some of those things you don't throw away because you can use them for something else. I say all that to say that despite what you have done, and despite where you may find yourself in life today, it may not be where you had planned or foreseen yourself to be, and there were some things that happened out of your control. I want you to not think about the bad things. I don't want you to think about what you've lost and what should have, could have been. Think about what you have today and how God allowed you to see today and how you're still making it. You're stronger than what you believe. And all of those bad things that happen, it really has made you the strong person that you are today, the wise person. You're bad all by yourself. You're a miracle. You're a walking miracle. Amen. Don't give up on anything. If something is not turned out the way that you desired it to be, take what you got left and build from there. There's so much more life to live. The story is not over. As long as you're still breathing and you're still walking on planet Earth and you're still looking unto the hills from which cometh your help, and you realize that all your help come from the Lord, in the end, you're going to win. You're more than conquerors, what the Bible say. Not just a conqueror, but you're more than that. Amen. So let's go into the new year of 2018 with high expectations. Let's dream big. The fact that I'm still here, I have to go for a biopsy and there's other treatments and things, but I know that God is not through with me yet. He's not through with you yet. I'm still encouraged. 2017 had great heights and it had some great lows, low lows, but I'm still standing and you're still standing. And let's go into 2018, not bringing bad thinking or stinking thinking into 2018. Let us, despite what we lost, let's look at what we have gained, what we have left. And that's strong enough and that's good enough for you to go on to your next level. Let's come out of the chicken mentality and let's soar as eagles. Let's go above and beyond. Let's drop off some things. Let's gain the good things. And let us fight the good fight of faith. And let us lay hold of salvation. Amen. I love you in God. You pray for me as I pray for you. And I thank you so much for the feedback of these videos. I'm shocked at those who watch it and it's people that give me feedback. If nothing else, if you're encouraged, then my living has not been in vain, and my getting on here has not been in vain. I love you much. God bless you. And if I don't talk to you before Christmas, happy Christmas.